tonight.
I think a St. Louis woman is talented. She has a lot of grit, a lot of power.
Jaquise Hardin, Laka, on location in the historic Lafayette Square Park, just days before a special concert performance.
It's my feelings, my ego. Like, this is really going to be their first time hearing me.
An exclusive television interview, live on Facebook, next.
She's a multi-genre vocalist from Cape Girardeau, a local dietitian, and one who has been trailblazing the area. Her name is Laka, and she's one of St. Louis's newest sensations. Having performed at venues all across the area, including the St. Louis National Blues Museum, she's on a mission to share her sound simply for the joy of it. Tonight, for this exclusive interview, we're in the beautiful park of the historic area of Lafayette Square, a park where Laka often comes to unwind, pray, and find new inspirations through nature. I got a chance to take a walk with her to learn more about who she is, what inspires her, and her dreams and goals for excelling in St. Louis.
So Miss Laka, all right, the legendary singer in the making, all right, all the way from Cape Girardeau. Yeah. So tell me about that transition. How'd you end up here?
You know what? I arrived to St. Louis about a decade ago for work and on the Illinois side, and eventually moved over to this side. And St. Louis has everything. I mean, it has a thriving music scene, the museums, parks.
Like most of history's iconic singers, Laka began singing at her home church in Cape Girardeau.
I got started in gospel music when I was teeny tiny. Like, as soon as we could walk, they would put you up in front of the church and have you sing, yes. This little light of mine, right? Like, things like that in Sunday school.
Sure.
So, yeah.
So did you have any particular gospel artists that really influenced you as a kid?
Not really. It was more just like the choir. Oh, Kirk Franklin. I did love Kirk Franklin. Mississippi Mass Choir.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, gotta love them. That's a classic there.
Yeah. Who else? The Clark sisters. Yeah, a lot. I mean, a lot of them. But also, I was more inspired by just the choir at my church, right? And the singers at my church. A lot of them were family members of mine.
Okay.
Who sing in church.
So singing, it definitely goes in the family.
Yeah. A lot of my extended family sing and play, piano and drums and bass.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
So did you pick up any instruments?
I picked up guitar recently, but I don't even know if I would say I play. I do take pictures, very good pictures with it.
What, you take good pictures with the guitar? You might pick at it, but
Right.
Okay.
I'm working on it. We'll see. I hope to one day say I always said, like, I'm willing to go wherever music is going to take me, right?
Her first major appearance in the area was in a one-woman show she starred in called St. Louis Woman. In the show, she highlights some of St. Louis's most iconic female singers throughout history, including Josephine Baker, Willie Mae Ford Smith, and the late Tina Turner. Her one-woman show displayed her ability to find inspiration and momentum from the legends of the past, but only one of those icons inspired her in such a way to produce a full-on tribute. The tribute was for, you guessed it, the queen of rock and roll herself, Tina Turner. It debuted at the St. Louis National Blues Museum and filled the venue with the nostalgic sounds of some of the legend's greatest hits. In full costume, this tribute was hands down a fan favorite.
So I did St. Louis Woman, the play.
Right.
And one of the women I paid tribute to was Tina Turner. And then out of that, a totally separate Tina tribute came out of that. The Blues Museum saw the video that I did with St. Louis Woman, and they said, why don't we do a full Tina tribute for us? So everything is just kind of evolved. Yeah.
I like that. So I want to go back to the St. Louis Woman, the one-woman show. That was my first time seeing you. Okay. That was an incredible one-woman show, and you represented so many incredible icons, and in particularly from this area.
Right.
And so Tina Turner, Josephine Baker, Katherine Dunham, and many others. And so what inspired you to create such a project like that? So what was that?
So it was Joe Hanrahan, who's the director for Midnight Theater Company.
Mm-hmm.
He saw me sing at the Blue Strawberry, and I saw one of his plays, and we decided to collab.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were just throwing out ideas, and he threw out the idea of St. Louis Woman.
Mm-hmm.
And that one resonated with me the most. I thought, I love St. Louis. I love a lot of these women, especially Tina Turner, I grew up listening to. And yeah, so it was just one of those things where I knew it was going to be a lot of work, but because of who these women were and what I felt like that play meant to our city, to elevate our city, and the talent that is produced. So I went in all the way.
So what does that show mean to you? One woman, a St. Louis woman. What does that mean to you? What does it mean to be a St. Louis woman?
I think a St. Louis woman is talented. She has a lot of grit, a lot of power. What else? I mean, she can navigate life. She navigates life really, really well. Yeah. So it means so many things. Like all of these women that we paid tribute to, a lot of them had, insurmountable challenges.
Sure.
But they overcame those and produced extraordinary lives.
Right.
Right? And it shared extraordinary talents.
Mm-hmm. And so who was your favorite portraying in that show?
It was actually Josephine Baker. I think everybody's favorite when they saw me was Tina Turner. From what I've heard, just because of the dress and the wig and
right.
So that was really powerful. But for me, I knew the least about Josephine Baker going in, and just learning her story. She was so courageous.
Yeah.
She left the United States, went to another country. She didn't know the language. She didn't know anything, but just hungry for something better for her life, right?
Sure.
So I just loved portraying her. I love speaking in French, and I didn't know French, but I loved singing in French, and she was just so classy but also really just wild at the same time, right? Like one of the outfits that I wore was this long sequin ball gown dress, and then in another scene I'm wearing a banana skirt.
The famous banana ensemble.
Right, and that was her life. It was classy, but it was also really wild and insane. And I love that because that's how I am.
That's how you are. Wild and insane.
I can do.
Noted.
If you go on my
Put that in my pocket there.
if you go on my Instagram page, you'll see me in sequins, and then you'll see me in a little black dress, shaking my booty. It's all over the place.
So in your show, St. Louis Woman, you said that you feel that the public thinks or thought that you enjoyed playing Tina Turner the most, correct? And so with her recent death, how do you feel having been able to portray such an incredible icon in the rock and roll scene, a woman with such a rich history and legacy? How does that feel for you now that she's gone?
I felt like I knew Tina Turner because I studied her so much for the play, and then I did that separate Tina tribute. So when she passed away, I've had to do my own grieving because I grew up with the movie. I watched What's Love Got to Do with It a gazillion times. I could probably state all the lines.
Sure.
And also, Tina Turner came from a small town. I came from a small town. She moved to St. Louis and got her start in music. That's where I got my start. So I definitely identify with her a lot. And it was amazing to honor her in St. Louis Woman, and also in the tribute. Yeah. People, they went crazy, right? I'm wearing the leather dress, the wig. I'm Tina Turner.
You sold it.
I'm Tina Turner,
you gave all of it.
Yeah, so it felt so good. And I really did have a really rough time, when I got the news that she passed away.
Sure.
But so many people reached out to me and said, they thought of, initially, right?
Right.
Like when they heard the news, I was
Yeah.
yeah.
So this tribute set that you did, how did that vary from the representation that you did in One Woman?
Oh, okay, yeah. In St. Louis Woman, it was totally different because we told her story.
Mhm.
You know, it was more acting and a little bit of singing, but the tribute was just all of her songs. We did almost a full private dancer album in the second set. So, yeah, but and I can't even tell you how much people were going crazy at that tribute because people haven't seen Tina Turner perform live in a really long time.
Right.
And for them, I was Tina Turner that night, right?
Yes.
I mean, people
Yes,
were
you were.
just screaming, and there's so much love for her.
Mhm.
It felt great to, represent her and
Mhm.
be able to give people that experience. I had one guy at the end say, I love Tina Turner. I always wanted to see her perform. I never got the chance, but I feel like I saw her tonight.
Sure.
So it meant a lot.
So out of the stuff that you performed of hers, what is the thing that you've enjoyed performing the most? What song of hers? And why?
Probably We Don't Need Another Hero because I feel like I sound like her the most on that. Maybe Private Dancer because I get to really play around with that
Yeah.
song. It was super fun to play around with.
Sure.
But
Mhm. And what does that song mean to you?
I don't know that it has a special meaning. It was from the movie Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. It was the theme song for that movie. So it doesn't have a special, meaning for whatever reason. I can hear her in my voice. I can't get
Sure.
maybe just because of the rest. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you could have met Tina Turner,
hmm
if she could have been able to go to one of your tributes, what do you think she would say watching you perform?
Oh, I think it would have been, like any of the other tributes that she's doing. She's seen lots of people perform her music. I think she's really proud and happy that, people are trying to continue her legacy, continuing to keep her music alive and her story and her legacy. So, yeah.
So if you were able to say one thing to her or whatever, what would you have wanted to talk about if you had the chance to meet
I don't know. She's done so many interviews, so I feel like I've already talked to her. Like just
Mhm.
from hearing her responses. But I don't think there's anything that I would say. I would just really want to give her a big hug and just tell her how much she impacted my life and my start in music and inspired so much of my sound. Like my original sound is that grit, has a lot of that grit from what I've learned from Tina.
Laka has performed all over St. Louis, singing covers from some of the music industry's greatest artists, but now she's ready to bring forth her own sound and show the world who she really is. On Friday, June 30th, she's holding a special concert at the Focal Point in Maplewood. There, she'll be showcasing her very own original music for the first time ever.
Now I'm really trying to focus on original music because, if you want people to take you seriously as an artist, you have to have, things that are just yours.
Right.
And so I'm super excited because I have a show at the Focal Point coming up on June 30th, and I'm going to do a lot of my original music. But it's also super vulnerable because I'm like, oh, I know people like my covers, but
Sure.
are you guys gonna like this?
Yeah, you mentioned this particular performance. Even though it's a rather small venue, but this
Yeah.
performance for you is really, really special.
Right.
Why?
Because it's my stuff. It's my, my thoughts, my feelings, my ego. Like a lot of different levels of consciousness are going to be on display. that night. It's one thing like when you're performing somebody else's song like that people have heard. You know, people have heard Tina Turner a million times, but this is really going to be their first time hearing me, right? So, yeah, it's I'm excited though. There'll be a lot of people in the audience that will love me no matter what. Like,
of course, you always have those.
Right? Yeah, you're gonna be there.
I will be there, front row, right in the middle. Would you call this maybe like your official introduction to St. Louis? You're finally introducing the real Laka to the area.
Laka as an artist.
Right.
Yes.
So what do you hope? What do you want people to get out of this?
You know what? What I love about performing, and this performance won't be any different, is in this regard, is just the connection with the audience. Like, I'm giving them something, but they're giving me something right back.
Right.
And so the only difference will be that this time it's really my voice.
Sure.
And my life experiences and things like that. But it's a shared experience. Yeah. And so what I want people to get out of it is just the connection, you know, a shared connection, a feeling. Like I want them to feel something, like feel the emotions of what I'm singing and be on this journey with me. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
A journey. Because
it's a journey.
It really is.
Yeah. And I'm still developing as an artist. So this is my first venture into, you know, sharing my original stuff in a concert setting.
So
but
with that,
I'm still developing.
So with that, what do you want people to think or say about you after this? Now that they've heard the real you, how do you want to be associated? What do you want people to think about you as an artist?
I want to keep them guessing. Like, wow, you know what? I did not expect that, right? Because a lot of my original stuff is a blend of genres. It's country, right? It's soul, it's blues, it's gospel, but my roots. So I want to keep them guessing like, wow, okay, like she put all that together. Like, what else can she do? What else will she do?
Yeah, I like that. I like that. So with that being said, where are you trying to go? What do you want to do? Who are you trying to become?
Right. I don't know that I have a destination in mind. I just know I want to enjoy all of it. And I want to connect with as many people as possible. I want to share as much joy as I can. And just be present in the moment and really live. You know, there's this saying that like a lot of people live, but they're not really alive, right? Yeah. And I want to be in the moment and feel as alive as possible and take in everything that I can. And I want to share that with other people.
Yeah. I love that.
As many people as possible. But I don't have a destination like, oh, you know, I need to sell 1 billion records and, you know, I need to tour internationally. Like, I don't know. Maybe I will do all those things.
It could certainly happen.
It could certainly happen. I'm just on this journey, and wherever music takes me, like, hey, we're going. We're on the way.
And I'm right here.
Yes, I appreciate you.
I love you.
Aw.
Thank you.